Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Bakakadash, this your Akim Azil, back with another quick lesson. Also want to give double honors and a salute to the men I learned this truth from. Shalom, Barakatham. You want to make this quick lesson, Salaki. In regards to a lesson that I did 3 days ago, and the title of this lesson is Guy Osment. You do not know what the MOTB is. There was an individual. So, like, let me go into the video. Well, there was a video that I made that a lot of brothers already went into of this corporation called Wallet More, if I ain't mistaken. But they they're in the process of perfecting, the microchip to be implanted. Salakia. The microchip to be implanted into your hand for purposes of buying and selling. So we already know, brothers, the true brothers that don't even know, we already know what that means. We already know what that is. So I made that lesson on that. Again, the company's name, the corporation's name is Wallet More, if I ain't mistaken. But you can check the video out. It's like you can check the video out for more clarification. So there was an individual that came on my comment board, or really not my comment board, but he left a comment, and he go by the name of Guy Osment, and he says, and he says TMOTB is mentioned in Revelation 13, but Revelation 13 was totally fulfilled in the first century. Therefore, there is nothing in this chapter that has any direct relevance to the 21st century or beyond. So I replied to that statement below. I said, care to elaborate on the fulfillment of Revelation 13? When did this take place? Then this individual comes back, he goes on to say, well, when we consider Revelation, we first have to ask ourselves, why was the book written in the first place? So to answer that question, Mr. Guy Osment, the book of Revelation was written because it was a vision that was given to John the Revelator of a future prophecy, a future event that was going to happen in in a near future, man, near or far future, Slakia. That's the reason why it was written, and it says who was it written to, and that question, well, to answer that question, it was written to the Israelites, that were, the ones during that time that knew there was Israelites, and the Israelites that were scattered amongst the heathen nations that became Gentiles because they took on the customs, ideologies, religions of these other nations. Was it written, Salakia? We started over when. When we consider Revelation, we first have to ask ourselves, why was the book written in the first place? Which I just answered that. Who was it written to? I just answered that. And when was it written? Which is already documented that The book of Revelation was written between, you got some that say, or have an estimate of 81 AD to as late as 96 AD. And he says, as far as the writing date is concerned, there is two schools of thought about AD 65 or AD 95. So that wasn't the question. If you go, I asked him when, I said, care to elaborate on the fulfillment of Revelation 13? When did this take place? So he's trying to say, as for, so like he asked for as the writing date. I didn't ask him when it was written. I asked him when was Revelation 13 fulfilled. So I went back and I asked. I says and replied, so like I said, there is a large number of scholars who believe that Revelation was written in approx. Hold up, no, that's him. I'm not gonna go into that one. I'm trying to get to the point because we correspond for quite a while. Different correspondence. Let me see. Yeah, there's one. He says, well, matter of fact, let me go and read that one. He says, this is from him, guy Osment. He said there is a large number of scholars who believe that Revelation was written in approximately AD 65 rather than the traditional date of AD 95. If written in AD 95, that would be 25 years after the destruction of Jerusalem and its temple. But in Revelation, the temple is still standing. Revelation must have been written during the reign of the sixth king emperor. In Revelation 17:10 and 1 is it's believed that that emperor is Nero Caesar, who reigned AD 54 through 68. Much of Revelation is about persecution and martyrdom of the Christian church in the first century before the destruction of Jerusalem. Nero's reign of terror against the church started in AD 64 and carried on for 42 months until Nero committed assisted suicide in AD 69. So he's trying to go into, the whole Nero when they besieged Jerusalem in 70 AD. Well, that was a true event. That's where, they got, evidence of the Ark of Titus in Italy, Rome. So that's a true event, but that's not what Revelation chapter 13, 16 to 18 is going into. And I responded to him, and that says Revelation 13, 16 through 18. And I got the precepts. I'm not going to read the precept, but I'm just going to get to the point that I made just for the sake of time. It says, I'm clear on the why, when, and who the book of Revelation was written for, and two, the destruction of the temple of Salakia. The destruction of the temple in 70 AD is not what Revelation 13, 16 through 18 is talking about. This is talking about a future prophecy, and that no man might buy or sell. Emphasis on no man might buy or sell. This is a global thing that includes all nations. And what mark what mark did the Romans in 70 AD demand Jerusalem to receive? You know what I'm saying? And he says Revelation 17 is God's scattering assessment of Israel, Apostolic Judaism. And chapter 18 is a description of Jerusalem destruction in 70 AD. See, he's going to chapter Revelation 17. I'm we're in a whole different other chapter, man. I was speaking to him about Revelation 13. Then he goes on to say the way the Bible expresses itself is the thing that misleads and confuses Christians, i.e., the Greek word for world in GE can equally means world, land, earth. So, for example, in Rev, where it says, "And all the world wandered and followed after the beast," this is not the whole world as we know it. It just means the Roman Salakia, the Rome world, and the word all doesn't mean every man Jack either. So he called me Jack, you know what I'm saying? I guess he's, agitated or whatever. Repeat it again. He says, and the word all doesn't mean every man Jack either. All it is saying is that the great majority of Roman citizens approve of and support their emperor, so like their empire or their emperor. In this particular case, Nero. History records that Nero was very popular with the common people of Rome. That attitude changed greatly in the latter part of his reign when bankrupt Rome and he committed assisted suicide. So then again, he's still talking about, 70 AD, Nero, etc. So then he makes another lengthy comment talking about, what we have, so like what we have got. So let me read it again. What we have got, I guess he means to understand, is that Revelation is written in a highly cryptic language. So when it says he forced all to receive a mark on their hand or forehead, this is purely 100 symbolic language. For it means having a total allegiance to something or someone. This type of language is borrowed from the OT. I mean, he means Old Testament. Scholars claim that about 55% of the narrative in Revelation is narrative borrowed from the Old Testament. No other New Testament book or NT book borrows so heavily from the OT than Revelation. So the marks are no more literal than the mark that God placed on his true believers. That's just symbolic language. As far as the so like as far as the unable to buy or sell, many scholars believe that it is most likely talking about the coins that Nero had minted in his day. These coins depicted Nero as the sun god Apollo. History records that not only the Christians but also the Jews refused to touch these coins, let alone employ them to buy and sell with. The Christians, the Christians and Jews attempted to mint their own coins, but to no avail, as this only brought instant and great persecution upon them. So, I replied back. I said, check this out, Jack. you know, he called me Jack, so I replied back to Jack also. I know that modern Christians are confused about the precepts of the Holy Scriptures, and you sound like one of them. You are referring to Revelation, so like you are referring to Revelation 13 and 3, and all the world wandered after the beast, which is talking about the beast of the sea. I am referring to Revelation 16 through I'm referring to Revelation 13:16 through 18, the beast of the earth. The Bible deals with prophecy past, present, and future. Revelation 13:1 through 10 is talking about time or age in history. And Revelation 13:11 through 18 is talking about a different time or age. Revelation 13:16 through 18, when you look up the word all in the Greek past, it actually means what it says, all and every. So I'm gonna pretty much go and leave it off there, man. We converse a whole lot back and forth, and that's what this guy is, man. He's pretty much a bug out. He just continued to go back to the Nero, the 70 AD, which that's a true uh, um that was a true event in history that actually happened. But that's not what the Revelation 13 um causes all great Salaki causes all great or small, rich or poor. Went into the MOB, man. That's not what that's talking about, man. I was talking about Revelation chapter 13, and this guy, it says right here, he said, what we have to, what we have got to, I think that's what he means, understand is that Revelation is written in a highly cryptic language. I'm going to go to this guy, see if this guy's like it. I don't know if I don't know if it's going to let me go. It's not. I'm trying to go into this guy page. So like it's not gonna let me see if it's gonna let me go into this guy page. Here you go. Say view channel. Okay, now I'm on this guy's channel. Guy Osment. Let me see videos. No videos. Playlist. Channel. About. So this guy started. He joined July 26, 2020. About 2 years. He's been. You know, subscribed to YouTube, but this guy has no he has no works, man. But yet he's trying to he as you clearly see, he's trying to edify me, but he's not even putting up any videos, man. So my suggestion to this guy, if he's listening or whatnot, if he catches video, guy Osment, you know, put up a lesson, man. That's what the true men of the Lord does, man. We edify the body, man. You know what I'm saying? Where's your works at, man? You try to school me, but you're not even putting up any lessons. But I'm about to school you. You know what I'm saying? So if you actually Salaki, if you actually go into the book of Revelation, chapter 13, as the video that I posted was going into, it's going to what the word mark means. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 17. I'm gonna read it. And that no man, matter of fact, let me read 16 through 18. Revelations, the book of Revelations, chapter 13, verse 16 through 18. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 636. So let's go into that word, Slakia. Let's go into that word, Mark.
Strong's G 5480. Charagma. Charagma.
Karagma. And it says what? A stamp and imprint mark, which we know what this means. Yeah, let's go to the second one. It says thing carved, sculpture, graven work of idolatrous image. And let's go into the Strong's definition. It says charagma. It says, if you look right here, it says right here at the top where it says Strong's definition, a scratch or etching, slacking, a scratch or etching, i.e., stamp as a badge of servitude. So that's what mark means, man. So it's a physical thing, man. Right here, if you go down, it says graven, mark. So it's a physical thing, man. That's what the word mark. But he said what? He said it was spiritual. See if I go back to it. It's yeah, he said right here, says so the mark are no more literal than the mark that God placed on his true believers, and it's just his true believers. It's like it. So the mark are no more literal than the mark that God placed on his true believers. It's just symbolic language. So I'm gonna get that precept. It's like it. One second. It's like it. Bear with me 1 second. It's like it. Yeah, let's go to the book of. Now we got what the word mark means, because that's what he's saying right here. He says, so the marks are no more literal than the mark that God places on his true believers. That's just symbolic language. So what he's referring to is, let's get that. He's referring to the book of Ezekiel. So let's get that. So we went to what the word mark meant in the book of Revelation, chapter 13, 16 through 18. Let's go to Ezekiel. It's like the book of Ezekiel, chapter 9. 14. And the Lord said unto him, Go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. So let's go into what mark means in this precept. Now we got the word mark and it says what?
Strong's H 8420. Tav. Tav.
It says tov. It says desire mark. Mark as a sign of exemption from judgment. So that's what that was. It's a mark from a sign of judgment. It says a mark by implementate. So like it by implication. Trying to say another word. Implication. A signature desire mark. Let's go into the Strong's. It says the Strong's definition right here. It says mark of forehead, sign of exemption from judgment. And let's go to this right here. It says to a sign mark subscribed instead of a name to a bill of complaint, hence subscription. Job 31 and 35. It is stated that at the synod of Chalcedon and other synods, princip- principal, principally in the east, some even of the bishops being unable to write, put the sign on the cross instead of their names, which is still often done by common people in legal proceedings, so that it so that in the infancy of the art of writing this could not fail of being the case, so as for the expression to be received into the usage of language. Now that's not what I was um, wanted, but in all, it's a what? It's a mark as a sign of exemption from judgment. That's what this mark is talking about, and this is a spiritual mark, but a mark in Revelations 13, chapter 13, 16 through 18, it says it's a physical mark. It's an incision. It's an excision, if I'm saying it right, and an incision. There we go. It's actually a cutting. It says to engrave. So that's the definition. Two different definitions. So those are two different marks. So Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is marking in the book of Ezekiel 9 and 14. He is marking his elect, man. You know, and then for what? He's marking his elect for exemption of judgment. In the book of Revelation 13, 16 through 18, that mark means what? You're going to be judged. If you take that, you're actually the penalty is death, man. That's the judgment that's going in the book of Revelation 13 through 16. Salakia. That's what that is. So so he says right here. So I just debunked. Actually, the precept just debunked your your unlearned, man. You try to say so the mark are no more literal than the mark that God places on his true believers. And he's talking about the precept I just read in the book of Ezekiel 9 and 4, which is false, man. That is a spiritual mark, you know, a mark of exemption, man. And I just explained, and you saw for yourself. You go into the root word, what that word mark means, the charagma. It's an actual physical mark, man, and it means what? Let's go back into it, and that mark actually means what?
Strong's G 5480. Kharagma. Kharagma.
It says what? Stamp or imprint mark, idolatrous image, thing, carved, graven work, sculpture. And it says what? Right here, Strong's definition. It says this is going to where it says i.e. stamp as as a badge of servitude. That means you're pledging to be a perpetual servant to Esau Edom, a self-proclaimed white man. Cause we already know who the devil is, man. We already know who Satan is, you know. And Nero, he is part of that lineage of Satan. So he is Satan too. He's Satan. You're correct that he is part of that beast system, but Revelation 13:6 through 18 is talking about a different time period. He's talking about the time period that we in now where we won't be able to buy, sell unless we have this charagma, this physical mark, you know. And it's not a tender, a legal tender. It's not money. He's trying to say it was Nero, coin, where he tried to, you know, present himself as, a god, the god Apollo. You know, that's not it, man. You know, that's not a graven image. That's not a mark. That's not an incision. That's not a token of what perpetual servitude right here, where it says as a badge of servitude, a mark, man, graven image, mark. So you're gonna be given a mark, and by you receiving that mark, which is a physical thing, you're gonna be what? It's as a badge of servitude, man. You're gonna be a perpetual servant, a slave, man. And that's what Esau Edom is preparing you during this lifetime that we're living in now, man. Let's go into there's another point I want to bring out. One of his comments, he was trying to say that yeah, right here at the beginning it said we have got to understand is that it's like what we have got to understand is that Revelation is written in a highly cryptic language. Yeah, actually, Revelation was written as a mystery, man, and it was written as a mystery. It's like it was written as a mystery, so that what only um, during that time only the disciples would get it, and during this time only who the elect is going to get it, man. And it says let's get one right here. Let's go to which I got the precept. Let's go to the book of Colossians, chapter 1, verse 27. It's like, I'm going to go to the point. It's the book of Colossians, chapter 1, verse 27. To whom Yahweh would make known what is the riches of the glory of this mystery among the Gentiles, which is Mashiach in you, the hope of glory. Let's read the New Living Translation on the right. It says, for Yahweh wanted them to know that the riches and glory of a Mashiach are for you Gentiles too. And this is the secret. A Mashiach lives in you. This gives you assurance of sharing his glory. So this is a mystery, man. You know, and how it's read in um, the King James version. I'm gonna read it. The book of Colossians 1 and 27. It says, "To whom Yahweh would make known what is the riches and glory of his mystery among the Gentiles, which is a Mashiach in you, the hope of glory." That may not be the precept that I wanted. Actually, it's Salagi, the book of First Corinthians. That's a better one. First Corinthians 2 and 7. Salaki, that's the one I really wanted to get. It says, but we speak the wisdom of Yahweh in a mystery, even the hidden wisdom which Yahweh ordained before the world unto our glory, man. Let's read the New Living Translation. No, the wisdom we speak of is the mystery of Yahweh, his plan that was perceivingly hidden. Salakia, his plan that was previously hidden, Salakia, even through Salakia, even though he made it for our ultimate glory before the world began. So this was a mystery from what? The understanding, the interpretation, the true interpretation of this Bible was hidden, man, before the world was even made, man. So this book is a mystery. It's only revealed to what Israel, namely the prophets, man. And during that time, the prophets, and during this life age, during this lifetime, Salaki, it's going to be made clear and known to the elect, man. So this book, like he mentioned, this person, what Salaki, Guy Osment, he said it's a mystery, which we know. Let's go back to his comment, because I ain't gonna make this too long. Yeah, right here it says, what we have got to understand is that Revelation is written in a highly cryptic language. Actually, it's a mystery that Yahweh Bashem Yahushua only made it known to his chosen elect, man, during this life age, man. Which we know it's a mystery, man. That's why you don't get it. You know, that's why you don't know that the MOTB is the chip, and you don't know that you're gonna be faced with the decision of what? Either accepting this chip or going without in society, man. That's the ultimatum that Esau Edom, the self-proclaimed white man, is gonna present to not only the Babylonians here in Babylon the Great, but this is gonna be a global thing, man. That's why you see a lot of what they call cryptocurrency is talking and mention of, and now, you know, just recently, Jim Crow Joe Biden passed legislation for what? The ushering in of a digital currency, man. So pretty much, this this was a presentation of that guy Osment. You do not know what the MOTB is. You know, this is a video response to him, man. Because this guy was obviously coming on the comment or leaving a comment to scoff and to try to debate the truth, man. And I pretty much exposed him through the spirit and power through Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, man, and through what? The teaching, the true teachings of his men, man. The men that were set up first, that we learned from the elders, man, and it's evident. So I'm gonna end the lesson off here. Hope the body was edified. Before I leave, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakadash. Again, this is Aki and Majul Azil. Lord willing, I'll be back with another lesson. Also want to give double honors and a salute to the men I learned this truth from. Till next time, Shalom.